Hey guys, today we are going to see how a world converts into a harem, and how 5 men get billions of girls to clap. Story starts with main character Ryudo walking with a lady confused into a highly advanced room which is a double-sided window. Ryudo, all confused, suddenly felt the young lady squeezing her chest on his back. Young lady then revels that there are a bunch of naked young girls desperately willing to make love with him to the other side of the window. It was a harem. It is 2040 in Tokyo. Outside the National Advanced Medical School we can see the world has changed a lot. Everything is controlled by AI and advancement. AI has made life easier for mankind. It's an ordinary day. We see Ryudo, who is pursuing a medical degree, talking to a beautiful girl named Alyssa about his interest in her. Then we see an emotional scene where Ryudo big brother Ryu and his little sister, Maharu, cries as she hugs Ryudo and pleads for him to get better. Ryudo was getting a warming adieu by his family where Alyssa judges them, which made clear that she does like him either. Now Ryudo can happily sleep for years as he knows there's a pretty girl waiting for him to get back awake and love her. Ryudo gives her his necklace and tells her to hold on to it so she will give it back to him when he wakes up. Ryudo is all ready for his deep sleep now. He went into his bed for the next 5 years. Process started with liquid filling the capsule while Maharu is sobbing and Alyssa is speaking to him, but he is unaware of what she is saying. Ryudo then put on hand on the glass of the capsule and Alyssa does too as she cries. What Alyssa said? She said she will be waiting for Ryudo. Ryudo then wakes up in a hospital room and is spoken to by a woman, greeting him. Ryudo asks the woman the year and she responds with 2045. But there's something different this morning from the last time when he was awake. Ryudo is confused with a strange feeling as he is surrounded by female doctors staring him with bashful expressions. After his first shower in 5 years, purpled hair nurse took him to a doctor for his health checkup. Instead of his doctor who made him sleep 5 years ago, he was assigned to a new lady doctor who was giving him the same expression which he go by other doctors when he got up. Now Ryudo is more confused and, to be honest, little scared about his surrounding. Ryudo got tons of questions by now, but the purple hair girl arrives and asks Ryudo to go with her so she would explain what happened when he was in stasis. In a car, the woman explains she is Ryudo's dedicated secretary known as Mirasu. Ryudo wonders about what she talked earlier and asks her to clarify. She explains about a new virus known as MK virus ran wild in the world almost 4 years ago. She continues stating the effects of the virus and caused a worldwide pandemic instantly. She then tells Ryudo to look outside and states the population has been reduced by half. Ryudo thinks she is joking but realizes his brother and Maharu could be dead, so he gets out of the car. As Ryudo questions his surrounding area as he sees there's no men around, he asks a woman on the streets, but she jumped over him desperately, but thankfully Mira and her guards helped Ryudo out from this wild situation. Without any patience, Ryudo asked Mira where all men gone. Mira then explains the name of the virus is known as male killer virus and only women exist in the world. She saying some men extended their life by going into cold sleep, but 99.99% of the males are extinct. Ryudo questions how he is alive, so Mira says it might be because of his infection and cures. Mira then states there are only 5 men who have survived the same way Ryudo. Then Mira urged Ryudo to produce with all female to save humanity. Ryudo was in harem, and the world was his harem. She then demands him to avoid reckless behavior like yesterday's incident, since the citizens are in disorder and girls in the city desperately wants a guy to fill them up. Ryudo didn't want to mate with thousands of girls in the sea just to save the world, because he is still in love with Alyssa. As Ryudo was not understanding the seriousness of the situation, Mira called his sister Maharu. Maharu is all grown up now. As Maharu hugs Ryudo, she says she is glad his disease has been cured when she says the pad of naked women. But Ryudo refuses again. Later, Maharu explained that their elder brother is alive and been frozen same as he was because Ryu got some virus and had to be in hibernation. Not only this, Maharu also talked about Alyssa, who is missing for the last 3 years. All she knows about her is that she was actively involved in the research of vaccination for MK virus. Ryudo was sad and tires to ring Alyssa, but unfortunately she didn't pick his call. Later in the night, Ryudo is in his bed thinking about Alyssa being missing when Mira appears in a camisole. Ryudo questions her being in there, but as she approaches his bed, she takes off her garment. Mira then gets onto Ryudo's bed, saying she went to pleasure him before kissing him and ask him to clap her. But Ryudo pushes Mira away as he was terribly missing Alyssa. As she is putting on her blouse, Mira wonders if he dislikes her, but Ryudo claims he cannot get into the mood because people died while he was in a coma. Mira apologizes for bothering him as she walks out his room. Ryudo feels depressed and sad, thinking why is this happening with him, but he suddenly recalled about the pendant he gave her. In the morning, Mira appears in Ryudo's room and says she sensed he could not get the sense of it from watching videos, so she is taking him to a special place. Mira shows Ryudo a room of women taking a bath, but Ryudo turned his face and asked for 1 month to find Alyssa. Mira accepts but has a condition for Ryudo to sleep with women she chooses every night to create opportunities for mating. She says if he is faithful to her, he would not succumb to the temptation, but she wishes for him to. In the very next scene we see Kyoji Hino. He is one of the other immune men just like Ryudo, but unlike him Kyoji is enjoying his harem to the fullest and clapping 20 girls a day. In a room, Kyoji Hino is receiving a massage by 2 women while watching a romance movie, and Kyoji says he likes the actress, Rina Kitayama, calling her beautiful. Suddenly, Kyoto's dedicated secretary arrives and says it is mating time. She then gives the first man a selection of women to choose from, but he thinks the decision is hard. The secretary then suggests someone else. In Kyoji's room, Rina Kitayama appears with the outfit she was wearing in the movie, surprising Kyoji. This guy is Dan of his world. Whereas after Ryudo is done with his lunch he encounters Kyoji, who is overexcited and over-friendly, which clearly Ryudo isn't liking. Kyoji advised Ryudo to use this opportunity and have fun and make this world his harem. Shortly after, Ryudo is in the shower thinking about meeting Alyssa again when the lights are turned off. As he is reaching for the door, he grabs a woman's chest and she calls him assertive before revealing herself. As Ryudo is questioning her, the woman looks at the door handle before smashing it off the door. She then presses her body against Ryudo, saying if they should get comfortable. During the process, Ryudo passes out. Sometime later, Ryudo wakes up while Akane is sleeping on his couch, leaving him wondering if she carried him there. He then notices something moving under the covers. Suddenly, a girl wakes up, and the two are surprised. Ryudo is curious to know who the girl is and what she is up to, so she says she is sleeping with him. Following which we see a bunch of women having a meeting, and something seems fishy and doubtful that they are responsible for this situation in the world. Women around are not happy with Ryudo's decision to create a vaccine for the MK virus rather than mating. One of them also mentions no one is happily doing a job at mating. Council now starts seeing Ryudo a threat to their plan and decides to revive another man. Taking you back in time once again to introduce our third man who owns the world as his harem. Shota Doi. He is one weak guy who is bullied by his classmate and an extreme introvert guy. He was bullied because of his different taste in music and art. It seems he is dyslexic who sees life differently. Getting bullied is the part of his life, but Takamatsu and his girlfriend Arisa got no limits and they are always his back. Shota is only comfortable around his sister Mao and his music teacher, Suki Hanu. But Shota contracted a virus which he got to sleep for years just like Ryudo. And now it's his time to wake up from his dream and help women around the world to get pregnant. After getting from his bed, Shota got a lady attendee named Karen, who explains to him about the entire situation of MK virus and how he can help humanity to repopulate. Shota however decided to complete his school with a fear of bully couple, but he then realized the virus must have killed him. Shota is still the same as he was before, but the only difference here is the attention he is getting from other girls. Shota was trying to adjust to the environment and then he saw his music teacher who is still alive. Watching Shota back in school made Yuzuki happy and blushful for obvious reasons. After a long day, Shota was relaxing in his room when he saw Yuzuki knock on his door in a silky night dress to make him fold her legs up. Without any hesitation, Shota pushed into her and made her happy. Sometimes even in school they had quickies. He was quite happy in his life. As United Women observed that Ryudo was not mating with anyone and that Mira was not doing her duties well, they made the decision to fire her as his attendant. As the situation was getting more tense, Ryudo had less than a month to bring up the cure before he had to mate. Despite being quite busy, he hasn't advanced the research at all. In terms of defeating the virus, with no result, Ryudo decided to walk but got into Maria, who was roaming around with her lab coat on with no undies. And this was seen by Ria, who was Ryudo's new attendant. Ryudo and the gang make the decision to travel to Cayman City, the first location in Japan where the virus initially appeared, in order to conduct additional study on the infection. He intended to speak with Taniguchi, an elderly woman who was the widow of the first victim of the virus. Taniguchi is first guarded and doesn't seem eager to share much. She is certain of something, but she is unsure of whether she can trust the other attendees. She offers no assistance and only reprimands them in the end. When they leave, it is revealed that Taniguchi is in contact with Arisa and wonders why Arisa will not disclose herself. In the next scene, we see Ryudo taking a bath in his hotel, where he runs into Chloe, a young American woman who claims to be a transfer student, in the sauna. Ryudo is tricked by the girl to kiss her just before others get in, and this made them angry. Someone breaks in and poisons her, leaving her in a serious condition. Taniguchi requests that Ryudo be given a picture of her and her spouse before she passes off. Taniguchi offered the group nothing of value, therefore they made the decision to go see the nearby abandoned hospital, where the first MK virus patients were treated. However, the hospital is devoid of anything significant, and it is obvious that someone has taken the evidence. Ryudo's team chooses to head back after making little progress. Ryudo analyzes the photo given by Taniguchi on the day of their return after noticing that his scanner was responding to it, and discovers unfinished blueprints for the MK virus's architecture. Ryudo may attempt to reverse engineer the virus using this partial design, as it had undoubtedly been created by someone. Later on that day, as Ryudo was taking a bath, Akane and Maria joined him. They assure him that they are on his side and share the information that several microbiologists have recently gone missing or been murdered. It appeared almost as though the government was eliminating them to discourage research into a virus cure. The two girls went into the bathroom to avoid having their conversation recorded by others. They never missed chance to seduce Ryudo. Anyways, going further, we see Sui, Ryudo, Mara, and Akane were able to set up a base in the city's refugee district. Maria even manages to set up a network of computers that are not subject to government inspections, allowing them to further explore the MK virus. To find out more information about Arisa and the MK virus, Ryudo and his crew decide to return to the abandoned hospital. Ryudo's group explores the abandoned hospital, where Sui accidentally breaks a wall to reveal an air duct. They enter it by crawling through it and land at a subterranean laboratory where the virus was likely produced. Before they can look into it, though, they encounter a bunch of unusually murderous ladies. Fortunately for them, the mercenaries commanded by Chloe kill the women in turn, who ultimately proves to be a United Women agent. Chloe protects the gang from the oncoming hospital explosion. In the next scene, we see Cole's assistant meets the Japanese UW Council and arrests them after knowing the MK virus was made under their eyes. The weird girl in school was sent by Arisa and her group to keep eye on number 2 and number 3. Arisa now heads a group which is against UW, who was behind the pandemic, whereas Cole now takes over Japan and make a decision of no more mating until the terrorists and dead. Here by terrorists she meant Arisa and her group hacking the international television station. Alyssa and the terrorist group reveal her group's name is Izanami, who, instead of being terrorists, are a gang of rebels. They allege that the virus was manufactured by all of the world's rulers in order to exterminate men and replace them with women. Izanami wants to end the pandemic. After Ryudo came across this fact, he decided to escape from Cole with his gang. Ryudo's group manages to get on a ship which can sail them away. Ryudo then finally meets Arisa. Thanks for coming this far. If you like our content, show us your appreciation by liking and subscribing, and we highly recommend our next video, which is about how a man starts a family with a dinosaur after both of their kids were eaten alive. Take care, see you in our next video.